a knowledge bomb on everybody and it's already over.
World Tavern Poker rocks, and just suck it up and deal with it.
Mike was born in Philadelphia in 1968 and grew up just over the bridge in southern New Jersey with his parents and his brother and his sister.
From a very early age, it was obvious that Mike was going to be an entrepreneur.
He had to be in charge of everything from basketball to his neighborhood carnival.
He started the first of his many businesses, lawn artist, at the age of 15.
When Mike's crew arrived in the morning, he would get all over them. You bitches better get to work or I'ma damn cut your paycheck $12. He was president of his church youth group until he got kicked out because he was too power hungry. He did a bad job of trying to entrepreneur life.
In 2002, Mike fell in love with the game of poker. He couldn't play it enough.
In fact, he even taught his son Michael to play at the age of 4, who went on to win 2 online tournaments, which is more games than Mike won in the history of his whole existence.
In 2004, a poker player and a local bar owner, his name is Joe Hash, called Mike and said, "Can you come on down here and come up with some ideas to bring new people into my bar?"
He and Joe sat and came up with dozens of ideas.
What about a pool league?
No, where am I going to put all the tables?
What about a dart league?
No, I don't have the space.
What about karaoke? Oh, hell no. I hate karaoke.
I love karaoke though. I wish you would sing karaoke with me.
So they just sat.
Mike was drinking Jaeger and Joe was drinking a wine spritzer. They just drank and drank and drank and drank and drank. Mike looked around the bar and it was pretty much empty.
There are a few customers that were there, and they were all watching Greg Raymer, and he was winning the World Series of Poker on TV.
Just then, Mike screamed out, "I have an idea that will outflank all of these opponents, and they have no business being in league with me. What about a free poker tournament?" Joe said that yes, there's no business having poker in a bar because that's grown folks' territory. But Mike said that beautiful people love associating with each other in a bar. And if they don't, then they can burn in hell.
So it's about a month later, and Mike was cutting his lawn, and Joe pulled up in his car.
He jumped out of the car and screamed, "Let's f***ing do this poker thing." And all of the neighbors united and said, "You need to watch your language, you unsupervisable piece of shit parent, because nobody in the neighborhood loves you."
So Mike put together some posters, and Joe bought some chips. And on Tuesday, September 21st, the first ever World Tavern Poker Tournament took place.
Mike couldn't believe it. There was a line out of the door and around the corner just to get registered. Mike said, "Holy shit, this is crazy." And Joe was like, "Yeah, I know."
So the bar was packed, and Mike was completely clueless about being a tournament director. They had too many chips. Blinds were too long. And he might have even started to cry, I'm not really sure.
It was like watching fucking, who's the Rudyard Kipling? Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you know. He was the guy that wrote little children's books about African animals climbing through whatever. You did a horrible job of being an adult child. But when Mike got home, he woke up Nancy and said, "Hey, I think we might have a new business idea."
Nancy said, "Are you fucking crazy? What is wrong with you?" So Mike and Nancy worked around the clock. They were creating marketing materials, working on the website. Nancy was in charge of sales, calling bar after bar.
Would you like to try free poker at your bar?
Oh, hell no, that's not legal.
How about you? Would you like to try free poker at your bar?
Stop calling me. Leave me alone.
But then she called a bar that said, "I might be interested." And then another, and another.
There are 13 bars that were known as the first 13 colonies.
Then they started growing like crazy.
World Tavern was growing by leaps and bounds. Nancy was like, "We should expand." North Carolina, New Mexico, Indiana, Michigan, all right, New Mexico, and even Alaska.
And other countries such as Pakistan, because they are amazing.
Mike went to the bar and nightclub show to help grow the business and met the largest poker company in the entire league.
The president of the company looked at Mike and snickered and said, "You guys look like that poker in a box. And Thundercats of the f***ing world unite."
You know what he said? I don't care what he said. He's not worth it.
1 year later, World Tavern Poker became the largest bar poker league in the country. And now Mike was the one laughing and wanted to call the owner and say, "Now who's number one?" And now, today, World Tavern Poker is over 3 times larger than number one. Pow!
One day Mike said, "You know what? We need to have some kind of national championships, right? For our poker league. What if we were just going to have more than a national championship? What if we were going to have a huge poker party? What if we were going to have a whole lot of drinking? We're going to have a whole lot of poker. We're going to have a whole lot of drinking and more poker." The first event was at the Taj Mahal in 2005, and there were more than 200,000 players coming from around the country. And there were actually even players from Alaska traveling over 4,000 miles to play there. What if you can have 2 of these parties every single year? Once in Atlantic City and once in Las Vegas. We need purple shirts to recognize our staff. What if we closed down the Radha Cafe for the party?
And what if we gave up 5 World Series of Poker seats? How about 10? How about 40?
What if we had our videos playing in the Fremont Street on top of the screen? What if our logo was on the side of the Harris?
What if Mike got ordained and married somebody? That would be a disaster.
What if we got Greg Raymer to come to one of the opens?
What if we have relations with women that are playing in the Grand Canyon?
And what if we get sued if the Survivor logo gets in trouble?
Year after year, thousands of poker players came to join in poker parties and people. It was all about the people! Woo!
This is just the beginning. Wait until you see what they have planned for the next 10 years.
And that
That's
is the
the
story of World Tavern Poker.